don't know me, I was raised very, very religious for many, many years of my life. I have a lot of religious trauma. However, I still have a lot of Christian morals. I like it, okay? I feel like it keeps me on the right path. And like, look, here's the thing. I don't follow any religion. I don't follow Christ. I don't follow anything. However, if you're religious, we would probably get along. As long as you're not like mad at me for not being religious. That's the vibe. Okay, let me see if I can get through this.
What that blessing was and what it pertains to is somewhat unclear. In late June, Frankie wrote that her son refused to do wall sits. The following day, Frankie wrote that the boy is to stay outside, sleep outside, only to come in to use the bathroom and shower. After that, several pages are black. They're redacted, so there are pages and pages of information that we're not seeing. The journal picks up in July as Ruby Frankie's journal details the horror that her 12-year-old son and 10-year-old daughter endured over the next 3 months. I won't be using their names as they are the victims of horrific abuse. Frankie wrote about her son. Turns 12 tomorrow. I never envisioned him still being 12 and pooping and peeing himself. Satanic choices leads one to become destitute, even in the most affluential homes. Then the next day, on her son's birthday, Frankie wrote about her daughter and son being in so much deviant behavior, they won't control their bodily functions. They're both furious. Their selfish, sinful lifestyle is being intervened upon. I told R he emulates a snake. He slithers and sneaks around looking for opportunities when no one is watching, and then he scurries. If he wants to emulate the Savior, then he needs to be 100% obedient.
She's literally describing an abused child, like peeing and pooping on themselves and scurrying around. Sounds like a scared child, causing these issues in the children and then complaining about it while comparing them to religious concepts. This woman is sick.
Ruby Frankie then said that her son lies all the time. He's a compulsive liar. This entire experience is a shock to my system. She wrote that her son has a cold, dead heart, and he's always been able to get what he wants. On July 14th, Frankie wrote that her daughter, quote, refuses to work.
It's a child!
Has her hair shaved off. Frankie repeatedly shaved her daughter's hair when she didn't comply with her demands throughout the summer. The girl was only 10. Can you imagine? You shave off your daughter's hair because she refused to work.
Shaving a young girl's hair like that, cutting her hair, is usually a form of control and also a way to suppress their femininity in a sense. Sometimes men in like domestic abusive relationships, they will cut their wife's hair to try to make them feel ugly or to control them or to do something. And for a mother to cut their daughter's hair as a form of punishment in their formative years is shocking to me, and I have no idea what the result of that is going to be.
This was just the beginning of the summer of hell for these kids. Frankie said she told her son that he needed to divulge everything, that he needed to pray and to fast. He's workable and calm for a bit, and then angry and defiant the next. The only consistent thing about R is that he lies. That's what Frankie wrote about her son. She followed up by writing that her son told her he would rather have a glass of water than have her as a mom. Ruby Frankie then described July 11th of last year as a big day for evil.
I don't read this. Big day for evil. Blank manipulates me. She won't scream when Jody is around, but with me, she wails all night. Blank screamed, cried, and would hit her head on the tile floor. Today, Jody confronted her, admits to putting on a show for her mother, says that she wants to be pitiful. Blank was told to stand in the sun with his sun hat. He is defiant.
At one point, Frankie wrote, the kids need a good kick from a horse and a cactus to run into.
What in the
There were times when Frankie and Hildebrandt placed Frankie's daughter in a closet and refused to give her water if she screamed. Quote, she screamed for another family. Water.
When the police came and saw her daughter in the closet, I guess they had cut her hair off and she was emaciated. They thought she was a little boy. The video you just saw, that's what the early responders thought.
A manipulative ploy. You are loved. That's what Ruby Frankie wrote about her 10-year-old daughter. The girl was also made to jump into a cactus. We put her in the closet to contemplate what to do. She screams much of the day. She doesn't get water if she screams. She refuses to eat. The next day, she wrote, Jody wakes from a dream. God lets her know that we have done everything we can to get her attention. They also forced the children to pull weeds from a cemetery.
I can't look at that. That's the actual footage. Vinnie Politan was right. It's like hard to imagine that a parent would do this. Does anyone else feel almost a sense of confusion, like a sense of dissonance, like they can't connect these things happening? Like, not only was she like the mom, but also she had this false persona online that she was a good mom. And here it is. We see the journals. We see the video. The children that have literally been emaciated and abused and wounded. And still there's this like dissonance in your brain of like, oh my God. We're lucky that the children are still alive.
On August 27th, toward the end of the children's torturous captivity, Ruby Franke wrote about her son. Spent the 22nd through the 25th peeing and pooping. He is out of control. He is defiant, abusive, mean, willing to try anything that would grab his attention. I whipped him with a belt yesterday. He too. Franke then said her daughter peed all over Jody's garage floor, screamed at her and lied to her. She is out of control. The 12-year-old boy escaped from Hildebrandt's house and went to a neighbor for help.
I really don't need to hear any more than that. That was really hard to listen to as is, but also I do think that there's a sense of importance of understanding the severity of this and not just glossing over it because it makes us uncomfortable. Stuff like this is still happening in religious communities. Stuff like this is still happening with these mom influencers. It says a lot that Ruby wrote all of this down because she really genuinely believed that she was not in the wrong. And that to me is extremely disturbing. Guys, I don't know about you, but I need a little justice. It's been a lot all this week with everything coming out. I need to see Jody Hildebrandt panicked and getting arrested.
Wait a minute, how do you come to my house?